some Monster High dolls. Perhaps you've seen my Cupid video? Or maybe not. Might have been too AI heavy. Watch it and let me know. To me, Monster High dolls should be monsters. I understand that Mattel needs to make money and there are only so many dolls that can be considered monsters, so they're bringing in things that are monster adjacent. What attracts me to the Monster High dolls is the crossover of a monstrous beauty, depictions of fantastical, morbid tales, creatures that exist between a defiance of life and death, otherworldly beings that exist on Earth, much to our dismay and horror. But, moreover, are creatures of fantasy that are generally a result of dark human desires. For me, the key words are monster and fantasy when it comes to these dolls. You know, I like the unusual skin tones, the unique skin grafting, the pointy ears, the webbed hands or feet, gills, fin extrusions. You get what I mean? However, the Bianca doll has been kept to match the show's design, which I already felt is boring at best. As a siren, I was dismayed she didn't have similar features to Laguna with the seahorse ears, the web hands and feet, and fin extrusions, potentially even gills. She could have easily retained her skin color and the bright blue eyes. In regards to the show, it would have been more fantastical if she was just, walking around as a sea creature, but everybody just saw her the way we see her in the show for the most part. Simple, because she's told everybody to see her that way. She's a siren. And every now and then we have flashes of her with the prosthetics so we know what she truly looks like. I think that would have been more fun for both the TV series and the doll, because to me, she just looks like a black girl with blue eyes and hair, which is also a requirement for me to collect a Monster High doll. So as you can see, she's really not the type of Monster High doll that I would collect. It came down to whether I wanted to collect her as a fan of the Addams Family and Wednesday Netflix series. For me, the side characters could fall off tomorrow and I wouldn't care less. This includes Enid, the werewolf girl, Ajax the Gargon, and Bianca the siren. The show just hasn't done enough character development for me to care about them. And the same technically goes for the family. I just care about the family members because of the previous iterations of the Addams Family. It's also why I care about Wednesday if I think about it. None of the Addams Family dolls I own are from the TV series. Do I not like the Wednesday series? I mean, I like the first one. It was written better, though it could still use some work. Listen, kiddos. Back in the old days when I was a wee lass, they had this box called a TV. There were 3 to 4 main stations. They had a few popular TV series. And the writers would write with one open-ended main plot and 4 to 5 subplots. If you missed one show, you could miss a vital point. Every support character had an overriding character archetype, and that defined who they were. They were on an emotional journey alongside the main character. And that's the biggest problem with Wednesday. Allow me to beeline for a moment. The problem with Wednesday is they didn't correctly define her archetype. The overreaching archetype of Wednesday is that she is an oldest child who never wanted a sibling. She was left to care for her younger brother a lot, and that's why she treated him so poorly and was always torturing him. This was outside of, the gothic trope. If they understood that main point, then the way this series was written as Pugsley enters her high school would have been completely different, because she's no longer at the school alone. Her brother is there. This should have realistically changed everything. The new series should have been about that. Pugsley's archetype is the younger brother and the youngest child. We know he wasn't spoiled, but mostly left in the care of his tortuous sister. So how he is now, that he's older, could have veered from the traditional Pugsley. Nevertheless, it should have been based on his environmental outcome. It could go to one extreme or the other. Either he continues to dote on her and try to follow his big sister around because she's officially the coolest person at the school, or he hates her guts. In the show, they might as well be cousins. Believe it or not, when I watch shows like this, I watch it just like I watch cartoons, where I'm not really trying to think about the social aspects or high-level dynamics that are behind the writing of the show. I try to watch it with my brain turned off and just be entertained. In fact, I would love to watch shows without thinking about what racial stigmatisms might be there. I would love a well-written black villain that Bianca's character could potentially be if they weren't trying to simultaneously make us sympathetic to her character. I mean, they're so on the fence with what they actually want to do with her character out of the fear of repercussions from society. So her character just comes off as being mid, for lack of better words. I mean, that could have easily been offset if they had another character who was as dark-skinned as Bianca, but represented a polar opposite personality type. Then they could fully lean into the dark nature of her character and her character's powers. Because sirens are actually ugly mermaids that use their voice to lure in their victims so they can kill them and eat their She could easily be so powerful and be the one manipulating the school behind the scenes instead of being the one manipulated. Bianca is an amalgamation of black stereotypes and tropes placed on us by ourselves and society and combined into one character. Aesthetically, she's screaming, "Wakanda Forever!" which is like a trope within a trope. Online, she's defined as the queen bee of the school, the closest thing they have to royalty, which is an oxymoron in so many levels when you delve into who her character is. Far from royalty, she had to grow up early and be a strong leader for her household because her mother, who is also a siren and was also easily manipulated by a cult leader. Bianca, through her hard work, only got to school via a scholarship, meaning that she is financially unable to afford the school. If she is a leader, she's the leader of the outcast. Her father is nowhere mentioned in the story as being around. Does anybody else smell the stereotyping? Meanwhile, Bianca also is being manipulated by the principal of the school. These women are sirens, right? Does the writer not know what sirens are? And I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little tired of the strong black woman trope. Her character isn't showing any kind of character development as far as, trying to ask for help from others. What good is a leader if they're only a leader unto themselves? What about the ability to delegate authority? So, to summarize, this black character has the appearance of being strong, but has no real voice in her own world, and can easily be manipulated by others to do the bidding of those in charge. She comes from a financially unstable home with a weak-willed mother and an absent father. So far, I hate this doll. And this analysis is kind of making me dislike this show. Now, come along. As I spin a potential tale of how Wednesday could be written. Bianca and Wednesday were grouped into a school project. Wednesday suggests that she is weary of Bianca because she can easily warp the minds of others, especially if their guard is down. Bianca gives Wednesday the watch. If you watch the series, you know what I'm talking about. For the project, Bianca and Wednesday find themselves exploring an abandoned haunted house. Most of the furniture is covered with the exception of this freestanding mirror that stands alone. Unfazed, Bianca goes to check it out. But as she peers inside, something happens. Suddenly, there are two of her. They quickly figure out that Bianca has been split into two, a yin version of herself and a yang version. But how to reunite them back into one being? Wednesday goes to search the remainder of the house to see if there's a book or anything to explain this. While she is searching the remainder of the house, the dark version, Yin Bianca, convinces the good side, Yang, that being split is useful. While Yin is in class, the good version can go into the sea to look for her long-lost father that her mother refuses to tell her about. It's something that they always wanted to do, but, never had the time. Good Bianca thinks it's an excellent idea and sneaks off. Wednesday returns, only to find dark Bianca. She asks what happened to the other Bianca. Bianca replies that she went back into the mirror. Wednesday says,
"You seem different."
And Bianca turns to her using her powers and says,
"I'm the same to you, right?"
But because of the watch, her powers fail. Wednesday knows she can't do anything until she finds Bianca's other side. She won't reveal anything if Bianca thinks her power failed. So Wednesday looks at Bianca and says,
"Yes, the same."
"Yeah, the same." And they return to school. The dark side of Bianca has no inhibitions and therefore is more powerful. The school starts to drastically change for the worse with the yin Bianca in power. Wednesday is researching more about the mirror and tries to subtly probe yin Bianca about the other Bianca. Dark Bianca doesn't know about the watch because she does not connect with good memories or good intentions. Despite that, she is suspicious and concerned that potentially her power did not work on Wednesday. She tells Wednesday,
"There was no mirror. Forget about the mirror."
Wednesday simply says,
"I will not."
From this point on, Yin Bianca wants to maintain her uninhibited power, so she seeks to completely destroy Wednesday. In order to do that, she needs to tame and control Tyler, the Hyde. He just needs to be calm enough to listen. She enlists Ajax the Gargon, who was friends with Tyler. She convinces him that together they can make Tyler normal again, calm. Also, maybe she can talk Enid into dating Ajax again. This completely convinces him. Ajax finds himself consistently but willingly helping Bianca with her endeavors, though he doesn't realize that the ultimate goal is to annihilate Wednesday. He constantly questions Bianca about why she's doing things because it's unlike things she's done in the past. Bianca wonders why Ajax even knows so much about her. Ajax says it's because he has always admired her since he has a similar backstory as her. But Bianca was able to become a leader of the school while he just laid low. While all of that's going on, he also becomes close friends with Enid's old boyfriend, Hunter, through happenstance. Because of his newfound friendship with Hunter, he understands werewolves and their pack nature more. And Ajax comes to realize that he's no longer interested in Enid and understands why Hunter and Enid actually should be together. One day, he overhears Bianca talking to Tyler about getting rid of Wednesday. He goes to warn Wednesday, who technically already knows. Ajax is surprised. Wednesday explains the situation, but she cannot fix Bianca until she figures out where the good Bianca went. Ajax says that he had a strange conversation with Bianca, and he thinks she went into the sea to look for her father. And he says he can go look for her. Ajax, who is Gorgon is able to turn the bottom half of his body into a snake-like creature, in which he too is able to breathe underwater. Ajax heads to Atlantis, where he locates the good side of Bianca, struggling to find her father. He explains to her what's going on, but Bianca refuses to leave until she can find her father. So he aids Bianca in her search, while spending his time getting to know Bianca and understanding why they are so much alike. He finds himself falling in love with her, the good and the bad. Finally, Bianca is reunited with her father, who they find out is against sirens leaving the ocean to walk on land, trying to spend a day warm on the sand. He is from an aristocratic, wealthy family. However, their society is a matriarchy, and the men are not born with manipulative vocal cords. So he retained no rights when her mother absconded with her. Now that Bianca knows who she truly is, her father will pay for the school, and she will no longer need to be manipulated by anyone due to her scholarship status. Of course, this puts a dent on her budding relationship with Ajax, because now they both aren't from a single family, low-income dynamic. However, Bianca understands Ajax because that's how she grew up. What will happen to their relationship as time progresses? Once they return to the shore, with combined powers, they unite with the wolf pack to bring down the Hide and reunite Yin and Yang Bianca to one.
If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for playing dolls with me.